On the news tonight, Nigeria strengthens response to gender-based violence as Ministry of Justice launches a national reporting platform. Nigerian Customs Service intercepts 3.57 billion naira worth of contraband in Ogun State. Plus, Omoba Abimbola Onabanjo inaugurates another phase of 20 boreholes across communities. A pleasant good evening to you and welcome to the 7 p.m. news commentary from your Heritage Station. I am Fatima Hassan. Thank you for joining us tonight. Despite sustained advocacy against the practice, cases of violence against women and girls continue to emerge in the public space. Now, the Federal Ministry of Justice and partners have unveiled a violence against women reporting system to further strengthen Nigerians' efforts in combating the menace. The report.
Although a movie, cases such as this are not strange. They emphasize the negative impact of SGBV on females. A victim typically tries to hide from the shame, refusing to report that she was assaulted. But now, there's an online platform available for such incidents to get to authorities, including law enforcement agencies and the courts.
Between January and May of this year, the National Human Rights Commission recorded over 33,000 sexual and gender-based violence cases reported to them. Equally, NAPTIP documented over 3,000 cases of violence against women in the Federal Capital Territory.
These figures tell an important story as they remind us that reporting violence is only the beginning of a survivor's journey. What happens after reporting matters just as much as the reporting itself.
This platform is aimed at centralizing that, so for uniformity's sake, standardizing, and then from a single point, anyone, the justice system can, from that single or central point, be able to have full visibility of what is happening around SGB-related cases.
Although Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act is now active in 35 states, and the National SGBV Cases Dashboard reporting over 2,300 cases since 2020, the Justice Ministry and its supporting partners, EU International IDEA, seek to take the message against SGBV to all segments of the Nigerian society.
The Nigerian Customs Service Ogun 1 Area Command has intercepted contraband and other prohibited goods with a combined duty paid value of over 3.57 billion naira. The seizures, which include foreign parboiled rice and suspected cannabis, are part of ongoing efforts to protect Nigerians' economy, support local production and curtail activities capable of undermining national development. Lekon Adbonde has the details.
The acting Customs Area Controller Ogun 1 Area Command, Olukayode Afeni, says the command has intensified intelligence-led anti-smuggling operations through technology and interagency collaboration. Seized items displayed at Idiroko include 2,339 bags of foreign rice, 70 cartons of basmati rice, 6,035 parcels of cannabis, foreign sugar, petroleum products, second-hand clothing, cosmetics, and other prohibited goods. Afeni says the seizures demonstrates the command's resolve to protect legitimate trade, support local industries, and frustrate economic saboteurs.
To the syndicates and smugglers who think they can use Ogun 1 Command as transit route for poison, hear this clearly. We are adapting faster than you are. If you do not trade legitimately, we will continue to seize your goods, impound your vehicles, and send you to prison.
He says intelligence-driven operations will continue to dismantle smuggling networks and prevent prohibited goods from entering the country. Receiving the cannabis, the NDLA Special Area Commander Idiroko commended Customs for its vigilance and cooperation, assuring that the substances will be properly documented and handled according to procedure. In July 2026, the command generated 90.6 million naira from baggage, assessments, auctions, and other charges, while recording 10,110 metric tons of exports valued at 2.594 billion naira. In Abeokuta, Lekan Agbonde, NTA News.
Meanwhile, it was a celebration of victory, solidarity, and renewed hope in Osun State as workers and pensioners celebrate Governor Ademola Adeleke's election in the state. Kayode Oladosho reports that the celebration also provided an opportunity for workers to express their expectations from the government. The report.
It was a carnival-like atmosphere at the entrance of the Osun State Secretariat as organized labor and pensioners gathered in their numbers to celebrate the victory of Governor Ademola Adeleke in Saturday's governorship election. For organized labor, the celebration is not just a show of victory, but a reflection of the collective strength of workers across the state.
As far as workers are concerned and pensioners, you have to treat them well. Whatever Mr. Governor is seeing today is just a result of his good deeds.
The gathering created a renewed call for the government to sustain the policies that have earned their confidence while doing more to improve the welfare of workers and retirees.
We want the industrialization of Osun State so that people will be able to diversify the economy of the state.
This second term that is coming to spend, we know he's going to spend it for the people of Osun State.
Beyond the celebration, organized labor says the victory is a call on the government to prioritize workers' welfare and to improve the livelihoods of the people across the state. In Oshogbo, Kayode Oladosho, NTA News.
The 2026 Osun State governorship election has come and gone, but beyond the declaration of a winner, election observers say the exercise offers critical lesson for strengthening Nigeria's electoral process ahead of the 2027 general elections. Femi Afariogun has more.
The assessment of the Osun election presents a mixed but largely encouraging picture. One of the observer groups, the civil society organizations on community advancement and Humanitarian Empowerment Initiative, in collaboration with the Center for Information and Community Support Development, says improved logistics, functional electoral technology, professional security deployment, and peaceful voter conduct are seen as gains.
As far as the INEC and the security apparatus are concerned, we've seen an improvement in their official, administrative, and operational conduct.
One of the clearest improvements was election day logistics, despite the significant disruption caused by the last-minute court order.
At the same time, the group and other organizations believe late commencement of polls, technical challenges, and vote-buying allegations remain issues that require institutional attention.
Incident of vote buying, we hold INEC and security agents to investigate this and take correct measures.
As Nigeria begins the countdown to the 2027 general elections, Osun has provided an important case study for credible polls. In Oshogbo, Femi Afariogun, NTA News.
In another development, 4 of the aggrieved governorship aspirants of the All Progressives Congress APC in Oyo State have agreed to work with the party's governorship candidate, Sharafaddin Ali, to ensure victory in the 2027 general elections. The development was announced during a reconciliation meeting convened by the chairman of the Reconciliation Committee, Olufemi Lalehin. Nta Ijebu Ode was there and files in the report.
This move is aimed at mending fences and sustaining peace and unity after the conclusion of the party's primaries ahead of the 2027 general elections in Oyo State. The 4 governorship aspirants who have aligned with the governorship candidate were former Deputy Governor of the state, Rauf Olaniyan, Akeem Alao, Musbau Ashanike, and Usman Bakari. Announcing the reconciliation, the chairman of the committee, Senator Olufemi Lalehin, said the former aspirants have agreed to put the contest behind them and work with Senator Ali in the interest of the party and victory in the 2027 general election.
The aspirants hereby declare that they will fully support, cooperate, collaborate, and tirelessly work with the party's candidates, the party, and all the machineries established to ensure the victory of the candidates at the forthcoming polls.
We still have one or two people that we are still talking. We have just seen the end of a round. We are going ahead.
Not until whether I talk. We have seen the atmosphere, we've seen faces, then the faces and the atmosphere speak volumes.
The development, which reaffirmed the importance of reconciliation, cooperation, and a united structure capable of strengthening APC's grassroots mobilization and electoral preparedness, has put an end to the reconciliation process with the APC G6 governorship aspirants, except for Akeem Agbaje. In Ibadan, Ayomiku Ajibola, NTA News.
We'll be right back after the commercial break. Please stay with us. Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. Barely 2 weeks after handing over 12 boreholes to some communities, Omoba Abimbola Onabanjo has inaugurated another phase of 20 completed boreholes across communities in Ijebu Ode. At the symbolic handover in Obalende, beneficiary communities also received generating sets and cash support for the operation and maintenance of the facilities. Anthony Gandono has the report.
The symbolic event marks the second phase of the 52 boreholes water project, with another 20 completed boreholes, making 32 out of the 52 to be delivered. It was a moment of joy for residents of Moborode, Olode Isale, Imopa, Idepo, Ijasi, Obalende, Porogun, Obalende Seiko, Ojúkòtì, Aláwà, Ọjọ́fà, Ìmòrú, Ìpámùrẹ́, Àyégbàmí, Ìtàjọ̀nà, among others in Ijebu Ode, as they received the completed boreholes donated by a prominent businessman and a philanthropist, Omoba Abimbola Onabanjo, and his wife Olori Abayomi Onabanjo, just 2 weeks after the first phase was delivered.
We so much appreciate the water they do for us in our area. Prince Abimbola Onabanjo, we thank you.
Ẹni tó fún yàn lómi nǹkan dáadáa ni mo dẹ̀ máa ń láìka ẹni tó bá rántí àwọn tó wà lówà tó rántí àwọn tó wà lẹ̀ tó ń ṣe pé àwọn tó wà lókè nìkan ni wọ́n empower.
Tí mo rí sọ sí Abímbọ́lá ọmọ àdúrà ni àtijọ́ tó ti ń wá bọ́ọ̀lù fún mi ni mo ti ń ṣàdúrà fún àdúrà dẹ̀ ti mọ Abímbọ́lá arúgbọ́n mi nígbẹ́ ó dùn ẹ̀ nínú ọlọ́wọ́n ọba abamadu Abímbọ́lá nínú dédé orí òun wà omi sí pé kárùgbẹ́ má gbẹ wọn arúgbẹ́ nígbẹ́ o.
bá a máa ṣe maintain ẹ̀ ni pé a máa ní kọ́mítì ládùúgbò wa tí a máa ṣe àbójútó ẹ̀ tá à ní jẹ́ kí nǹkan kan ṣe àti lọ́sàn-án àti lóru a máa mójútó.
Speaking on behalf of the donor, the project supervisor Funmilayo Ayanwusi disclosed that the gesture is aimed at addressing water scarcity and improving access to safe drinking water in the communities.
We're here to commission 20 more boreholes. It's the second phase of the Omoba Abimbola Onabanjo borehole project in Ijebu. So this is phase 2, which comprises of 20 boreholes. We initially commissioned 12 2 weeks ago, and now we're commissioning 20 to make a total of 32 commissioned and completed.
Ayanwusi stressed that the project is purely philanthropic and reflects the benefactor's commitment to community development rather than political ambition. Chairman of the Ijebu Council of Oloritun, Alhaji Adebisi Alausa, commended the gesture, saying it complements government's efforts in providing basic amenities for the community.
For the first time, I have seen a man trying his best to satisfy the majority of people in Ijebu Ode. It has never happened before. I have not witnessed this type of occasion before. So on behalf of Ijebu Ode community, I'm grateful to Omoba Abimbola Onabanjo and his wife.
On the boreholes, each beneficiary community also received a generating set and cash support to fuel it for more than 6 months. In Ijebu Ode, Anthony Gandonu, NTA News.
As farmers across Ogun State prepare for another planting season, access to credit facilities, farm inputs, and other forms of government support remains critical to boosting food production and improving the livelihood of farmers. Through various intervention programs involving the state and the federal government, development partners, and financial institutions, farmers are receiving support ranging from subsidized input and mechanization services to credit facilities and agricultural infrastructure. Yemi Dalimo, complete the report.
As farmers prepare for the planting season, governments and development partners are deploying various interventions to reduce production costs, improve access to farm inputs, and boost food production in Ogun State. The Ogun State government says its interventions are targeted at making farming more productive and profitable through subsidies on fertilizers, feeds, land preparation, and other essential inputs, while agricultural infrastructure is also being provided across the state. Beyond the state's interventions, farmers are also benefiting from federal government programs and support from development partners, including the Special Agro-Industrial Processing Zones, SABs, aimed at strengthening agricultural value chains and improving farmers' access to inputs and markets. The interventions also covered agricultural processing and value addition with facilities such as poultry pens, processing plants, warehouses, and cold rooms established in different parts of the state to reduce post-harvest losses and improve farmers' earnings.
The Ogun State government intervention in agriculture in Ogun State, there are many. Ogun State government came up with what we call OGSTEP, that is Ogun State Economic Transformation Projects. That project started by giving incentives to farmers. For example, in Arable, for land clearing, Ogun State government, through World Bank, they were giving farmers 65% rebates. That means farmers contribute 35%, and that project subsidized with 65%. Now, when it comes to planting of either maize, cassava, it is 50-50. The same thing with herbicides, the same thing with fertilizer, the same thing with pesticide. So along that value chain, it is 50-50. It comes to value addition. And I can tell you boldly today that that project has instituted about 28 different infrastructural packages within the state. There is another project that Ogun State government is packaging with us, and you call it SAPZ. Federal government sent fertilizers to Ogun State. This year again, the federal government has done the same thing. I want to tell you also that even our senators, Olamilekon, give farmers 8,000 bags of fertilizers. And aside from that, all our House of Assembly Speaker also gave fertilizers to farmers within his constituencies. And those things were also replicated by all assembly members. Because I'm a member of Neighborhood Cooperative Farmer Association, and I know that my cooperative is basically for farmers. And we have been giving money. In fact, my cooperative invested in a project. We call it Ajegunle Broiler Project. If you get to Secretariat now, the government has been magnanimous to give us a cubicle there where we branded to provide chicken at subsidized rates to everybody in Ogun State. And we are expanding.
Access to credit remains another major concern for farmers. Stakeholders say stronger cooperatives, farm settlements, and organized farm groups will improve access to affordable loans while ensuring better repayment and sustainability of agricultural financing schemes. With subsidies, credit facilities, mechanization, infrastructure and development partner support, agricultural stakeholders believe Ogun State can further increase food production, create jobs, and strengthen food security, provided the interventions reach more smallholders farmers and are sustained.
In Ogun State, supporting farmers is not just about encouraging people to go to the farm, it is about ensuring that they have access to the inputs, land, knowledge, finance, and market opportunities required to produce successfully. Government has therefore been supporting farmers in the state through various interventions, including providing subsidies to farmers and great encouragement to women and youths involved in agriculture. The federal government, through the Renew Hope initiative, has also done a lot, providing various interventions which Ogun State farmers are also now enjoying to increase their productivity. In Abeokuta, Yemi Dalemo for Dateline 360.
That'll be all for tonight on our English news. Join us tomorrow for more interesting stories. Have a wonderful night, trust. Bye.